run away, the pressure is on. What shall I do? I feel like I have nobody, no one to lean on, so I choose you, Heavenly Father. But please don't make me cry. The punishment is heavy on me, ripping my soul, tearing my soul alive. Get away from all the sins that I have, and the things that lead me astray. I know if I strive, I would reach my Lord. Say like my new night, Yahweh, Yahweh, yes, I'm trapped like Jonah in the fish. I wish I never made that move that took me off to the evil ways that'll cut your days and kill your babes. How long will I be crucified? Your woman can't take me alive. Chastise me, but keep me out of the hands of men who wanna see me burnt alive. Get away from all the sins that I have, and the things that lead me astray. I know if I strive, I will reach my Lord. Say like my new night, Yahweh. Get away from all the sins that I have, and the things that lead me astray. I know if I strive, I will reach my Lord. Say like my new night, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. Get away from all my sins. Get away from all the sins that I have, and the things that lead me astray. I know if I strive, I would reach my Lord. Say like my new night, Yahweh. Get away from all the sins that I have, and the things that lead me astray. I know if I strive, I would reach my Lord. Forgive me, my Father. Say like my new night, Yahweh. Shem kevo makuto leolam wae shema shema.
Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our God, Yahweh is one. Blessed be the glorious name of his kingdom forever and ever.
Shema Yisrael Yahovah Eloheinu Yahovah Ekabadu Shem kevo makuto leolam wae shema shema. Yisrael Yahovah Eloheinu Yahovah Ekabadu Shem kevo makuto leolam wae shema shema.
Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom. Giving honor and praise unto our Maker, the Creator of heaven and earth. We hope, we pray that everybody is well and will be better. This presentation is brought to you by Danitepublications. We are on Moreh Yeshaya Torah lessons, Moreh Yeshaya history lessons, and the Facebook profile Yeshaya Author Danites. Brothers and sisters, we want to sit there and do a little extra intro, if we will. All right. For those who are interested in, say, that particular case, you can let me know in the comments what you think of such. Thank you, family.
Mama, I found
Shalom, brothers and sisters, once again. This is your brother and friend Yeshaya Israel, asking you all to comment, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We are going to be going over a matter of importance and cleanliness. We're going to be going over a matter regarding the Hebrew language. We're going to be going over a matter regarding the tribe of the house of Dan or Dan. So, brothers and sisters, we ask you to get your pens, your pads, your paper, and to take notes. All righty? So, let us do this in this particular matter. The share screen, if we will. All right? And pulling this up in this particular case. All right. Thank you for that. And we are going to, brothers and sisters, get started in this matter here, starting from the slideshow, from its beginning in this particular case here. And feel free to put your comments, your questions, etc. inside of the comment section. All right? So, giving honor to the Most High, we're going to be going over Leviticus chapter 15, verse 19, and verse 25. What we want to discuss in this, we're going to show, if we will, right here. Now, the flyer on the left-hand side explaining the matter of nida, separation, and tum'ah, uncleanness. Sometimes people would say that the word nida would mean unclean, but it actually, in no disrespect intended, does not literally mean unclean. In many cases, it is defined as impurity, but what it really means in actuality is the matter of separating oneself. Now, before some may have thought that a matter of a woman's menstrual cycle and the laws in Leviticus is in some kind of weird way misogynistic, no, it's not. This is when it boils down to a matter of understanding and cleansiness. Not saying that any woman in particular is unclean by spirit. But when you have your cycle, sisters, it is your body's way of cleaning itself. That does not mean that you don't sit there and clean yourself in that area or any other area. Like some people have stated, okay, well, the private parts of a female clean itself. No, you're still supposed to clean yourself. You understand? So perhaps when you're going through, say, your cycle, that is it cleaning itself. That doesn't mean that you don't sit there and clean yourself, say, after that. It's kind of like if you vomit or urine or deal with defecation, you're still supposed to wash your mouth out. After you urine, you're supposed to wipe that area off. And when you do number 2 or zoa or defecation, then you're supposed to wipe over there as well. So there is a part while your body cleans itself that you should, and if you want to be clean as possible, sit there and take time out to say clean yourself as well. All right. So this is something, again, that we care to bring out and show, if we will, for reference purposes. It is not about a matter of patriarchy versus matriarchy. It is not a matter of being misogynistic or hatred toward females. What it is showing the laws of the Most High in regards with the cleanliness that is expected and commanded. Want to know Hebrew? Subscribe to the channel. All right. Now, we're not on the channel currently, but we do have a platform, and I'm going to redo this lesson soon enough on the channel, Moreh23 Hebrew Lessons. You can contact me, 908-587-4841. Brothers and sisters, the number you see going across the screen, that is also, if you care to donate to the Cash App, that is also the number in that particular case, or $ Moreh23, MOREH23. We are going to, brothers and sisters, attempt to promote Hebrew literacy as much as possible. When we say that we are Hebrews, when we say that we are Israelites, when we say that we are Hebrew Israelites, Israelites have a language. And there is nothing wrong with, knowing, such language. In the chart of languages, Hebrew is related to Eastern African languages, such as Aramaic, such as Amharic, brothers and sisters. And so, looking upon it in that particular manner, let's look at that in this left-hand side. Wa isha kiti ye zaba, dam yihye zoba, bib sarah, shib at yamim tihye, benidata, wakal hano geya ba, yitma'ad ha'areb. All right? So these are things, brothers and sisters, that we care to sit there and bring out. Which is seen on the right-hand side from Alexander III to Alexander Stevens. Alexander III is also in history known as Alexander the Great. The oppression of black people is a sport to many. Alexander III, also known in history as Alexander the Great, the son of Philip of Macedon, oppressed black people. Did you know that in history? While the leader of the Greeks coming out of Macedon prophesied in the book of Daniel, chapter 8, as brothers and sisters, the rough he-goat that broke off the two horns of the ram, being they of the Medes and the Persians in history. The Persians, as shown in the Palace of Susa, are of color, or black people, if you will. The Egyptians, who were of color, or black people, if you will, were one of the people who in part was happy to see the Persians fall. But the Israelites, another black people, were not as happy to see the Persians fall. All black people are not monolithic. There are certain nations of different black peoples. And that too, brothers and sisters, is another thing that we care to sit there and bring out, say, for reference purposes. And that too. All right. So if you can hear me well, and if you are in good spirits, I ask you to type in the number 4. If you can hear me well, and if you are in good spirits, we ask you, brothers and sisters, to type in the number 4. Let me look and see the comments. So far, none yet, but love you all. And we are going, brothers and sisters, to continue in this particular case. All right. So we intend, no set date yet, to do the presentation regarding what happened with Alexander the Great, a.k.a. Alexander the Third, or Alexander the Third, a.k.a. Alexander the Great, to Alexander Stephens. Alexander Stephens was the vice president of the Confederacy. Alexander the Third, a.k.a. Alexander the Great, passed away in the 4th century BCE. Alexander Stephens passed away, brothers and sisters, in the 19th century AD. So we're talking over 2,000 or so years regarding a matter that we want to chronicle and talk about how people of color, regardless of the nation, were oppressed by the European. Not to be racial, but to be truthful. All right? So let us, brothers and sisters, let's see if anybody typed in the number 4. Nope, not yet. But if you are able to hear well in good spirits, please do so. We ask you. Thank you for that in that particular case. All right. So stay tuned. Subscribe. Asking you for that in that particular case. So stay tuned. My brother and friend, Y4T, the royal family, did type in the number 4. Thank you for that, family. It's appreciated. So I know how a brother is being received and perceived. All right. There is nothing wrong with such. All right. There's nothing wrong with telling a fish that a fish swims well. And there's nothing wrong with being open to constructive criticism. If you can't take that, then I don't know what to say in regards with that. Let's continue, family. Leviticus chapter 15, verse 19. We're going to read the Hebrew first and then expound upon what we want to talk about. Remembering, brothers and sisters, that Hebrew goes from right to left. Isha kiti ye zabadam yihye zoba bim sarah. Shibat yamim tihye benidata. Wakal hanogeyaba yitma'at ha'areb. And if a woman have an issue, and an issue in her flesh be blood, she shall be in her impurity 7 days. Now, this says that she shall be in her impurity. This is not saying while she's going through the cycle, which we understand today as the menstrual cycle, that she herself as a person is impure. It's an impurity. We know that qui or vomit or zoa or feces or sheten or urine is an impurity. It's something that the body is by default letting go naturally. You will not want to sit there and kiss your children even after they vomited without them washing his or her mouth. So now what can we point out in that particular case? It's waste, brothers and sisters. So we want to sit there and point this out, if we will, and if we will for reference purposes. All right. She shall be in her impurity 7 days. Now, let's say if her menstrual cycle starts on, for the lack of a better term, on a Sunday, and it continues that Monday and that Tuesday. She's still unclean 7 days. She's still in a state of her impurity 7 days. So if it stops the flow of blood on, say, Tuesday, the 3rd day, she still counts 7 days from the 1st day. Unlike with some of the other peoples who may not be in the understanding of the Torah, well, it's not bleeding today, so we cannot be that close, for the lack of a better term, by saying that close. And whosoever toucheth her shall be unclean until the even. This is one of the best times for a female, not that I am a female, I'm not, to have what they call my me time. Your time when you separated by yourself. Get your thoughts and processes together. Get your understandings together. The blood that comes out during that cycle is not normal blood. And a man is not supposed to ever see that. We are reading in Leviticus chapter 15. When you read in your own time in Leviticus 18, it says a woman is not supposed to show the flow of her blood, translated there as her flowers, to anybody. So just as that is a very personal matter, so the same, brothers and sisters, should she have that me time in her personal time. Whosoever toucheth her shall be unclean until the even. So if you can't touch her, and we're talking about touching, like touch her hand, touch her arm, and so on, then you, no way, shape, form, and fashion can you approach her to uncover her nakedness, which requires touching for intimacy and sexual activity. Because you as a man is not supposed to willingly be unclean. A woman going through her cycle at that time, this is involuntary. When the egg within a female is not fertilized by the seed or sperm of a man, the body gets rid of it so it can be replaced. Just as much as your cells, your body changes that particular thing that it's not needed after a while. It doesn't hold on to baggage, brothers and sisters, if we can understand it from a spiritual matter. It's not a hoarder of things. I'm going to just keep it just for the sake of keeping it. No. It moves on for that which is going to be used later on. Now, let's look at this, brothers and sisters. Isha, meaning woman. Ki tiyeh zaba, if. Tiyeh, she will be. It will be in the feminine, because of that tau in the beginning. Zaba, issue. Dam, blood. Yihye, zoba, it shall be. If it shall be. We got to understand from the Hebraic matter. Zoba, flow, her issue. Zaba, meaning issue. Zobah, that hey with the dagish in it, emphasizing for the her that you see there, where it says her. Zaba meaning issue. Zobah meaning her issue. Bib sarah. Basar means flesh. Basarah, her flesh. Bib sarah, in her flesh. If there are any questions or comments concerning this, please feel free to put it within the chat. Shibat Yamim, 7 days. From the word Shabbat, meaning 7. Yamim, days. Tikyeh Benidata, she shall be. Tikyeh, we see here. Tikyeh, we see here. This is not siyeh. This tau without the dagish in it is not making an S sound. Neither is this tau with the dagish in it making an S sound. Spelt the same letters, meaning the exact same thing. But nidata, in her impurity. Not that she herself as a person is impure. We want to emphasize and show something, if we will, with the pen. Thank you, family. You notice this being circled in the red there? We notice this being circled in the red there. We notice this being shown and circled in the red there. Brothers and sisters, we notice this being shown, circled in the red there. All of that shows it to be of the feminine principle. This is why you see her issue, her flesh, her issue, her flesh. And if a woman have an issue and her issue and her flesh be blood, she shall be in her impurity 7 days. Want to show with the laser pointer? Shibat Yamim, 7 days, Tiye, she shall be Benidata in her impurity. So it's not 1, 2, 3 day, and then you can touch and do other things, if we will, on day 4. No, that's not how the Torah is speaking. All right. It also teaches a matter of discipline and cleanliness. Wakal hanogea ba, and all ha-nogea. Naga, nun gamel ayin, means to touch. The Hebrew word for sex literally is shikbah. It comes from the root word shakab, which means to lie down. The word shakwar means to lie like deceit. The word shakab means to lie like you lying down. Hanogeaba, and all, and each, and any. Hanogea, and any who, that hey represents who or which. Hanogea, who touches ba, with her, to her. Yitama, he shall be unclean. Ata areb. So we have to know and understand that women who understand, females who understand the ways of Torah. If a man asking you, pardon me, sister, are you on your cycle? He's not trying to be nosy. He just knows that I can't even sit there and dap up the sister, if you will, like pound up, if you will. By pound, I'm talking about giving like fist pound, if we will. All right. So again, these are things that we care to bring out for reference purposes. Are there any questions? Please feel free, put it into the chat. Let's continue, family. Leviticus 15, verse 25. We're going to read the Hebrew then the English. Where Isha ki yazub zob dama yamim rabim below 8 nidata. Oki tazub ad nidata. Kal yemei zob tum ata. Kime nidata tiye temeahi. English. And if a woman have an issue of her blood many days, not in the time of her impurity, or if she have an issue beyond the time of her impurity, all the days of the issue of her uncleanness, she shall be as in the days of her impurity, she is unclean. Brothers and sisters, certain things we just want to talk about very briefly and logically before we even talk about the Hebrew or the English there, right? This is not going to be redundant, but brothers and sisters, we want to say this. Again, saying in quote that a woman is unclean, and we're talking about these kind of laws there, is not misogynistic. No different than saying hating a child needs to sit there and not be unclean when he or she uses the Pampers or diapers. Or when a little princess or a prince vomits in the sink, and then you got to clean the sink and clean one's mouth out. That's not hatred toward the child to say that child at that moment, yeah, you unclean because of what came out. In Israelite culture, you can be unclean, sidebar, by what you put into your mouth and also spiritually what comes out of your mouth. You can, brothers and sisters, become unclean in both aspects. This is one of the reasons not to be self-centered. A brother refrains from dealing in profanity on a platform. We can't go into Torah and going into this, and every other word might be the F-bomb or this bomb. And so it's different spirits in that particular case. And if a woman has an issue, right? Where Isha ki yazub zob dama. And if a woman will have an issue. There is an issue. There is definitely an issue. Dama, of her blood. Yamim Rabim. Yamim meaning days. Rabim meaning many. The grammar in Hebrew shows. Yom is day. Yamim is days. Yamim Rabim. Rab means much or many. Below 8 nidatah. Without. In addition to. In that which is not. The time of nidata. Her impurity. So let's say she starts her uncleanness or her cycle, say on a Sunday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then is none on Wednesday. She's still unclean to that Saturday. That Saturday is the last day of her uncleanness. Now, if she starts to have her cycle again, the next Sunday, after she was clean that Saturday, she's unclean another 7 days. So if it starts Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, no Wednesday, no Thursday, no Friday, no Saturday, but then again on Sunday, but then again, no Monday or Tuesday after that, she's still unclean to the following Saturday. This teaches also a discipline, and no, I'm not a doctor, nor am I a female to speak upon this whole cycle matter 300%, as if I could say, and I experienced this or that. I can't. But I do know, hearing from women, about what this is talking about. Another thing is, just as much on the prayer line that was conducted earlier, one of the elders stated that there's no way in the world that this shows it to be a religion. The laws of the Most High and going in this kind of matter shows it to not be religious. Also, we know that males did not write this. Because if a man wrote it, let's see some of the nasty things that men would think about. All you got to do is use a towel when a woman is on her cycle. How many sisters can vouch that a man suggested, though she's on her cycle, oh, just use the towel? Or we could do other things that don't require you having to, quote, take all of your clothes off, sister. Not to get too graphic. You understand? But if we understand the laws of Torah, he cannot touch her without him becoming unclean. And it is not in Hebraic culture to make yourself unclean on purpose. So let's continue in this manner, brothers and sisters. Or ki tazub, if tazub, she will have an issue al nidatah, concerning her impurity. Kol yamei zob tumatah, all the days of her issue, tum atah, is her uncleanness. Kime, as the days of nidatah, her impurity, tiyeh, they shall be, pardon me, not they, but it shall be, as the days of her impurity, temeyahi, she is unclean. So, brothers and sisters, these are things that we care to sit there and bring out, if we will, for reference purposes. What we read previously, brothers and sisters, in Leviticus chapter 15, verse 19, is the normal cycle. What we're reading here, Hebrew or English, in verse 25, is when it goes outside of her normal timing. The body is also telling her that there's something imbalanced. For it to have a flow that's not in its normal cycle. Brothers and sisters, we have to work on ourselves. The priests in ancient Israel were the doctors. There's nothing wrong, brothers and sisters, with bettering yourself. There's nothing wrong. And we want to sit there and emphasize that. Some people may say, well, if you're not even a lady, how can you speak so 100% on this? Or if you're not perfect, how can you speak about the laws that are perfect? And I'm going to give 2 examples. One, the law was given to a people that was sinning to prevent them in obedience to the law to avoid sin. One. Secondly, brothers and sisters, the people who told me, not that I ever had a desire to do so, but the people who told me to never sell narcotics had crack in their pockets. They had boiled narcotics and vials in their pocket. They were the ones to tell me, not that I ever had a desire to do it, to not to do it. So you got to take the message and not always try to sit there and, because you want to disobey, want to be a dodo head, for the lack of a better term, sit there and give your reason on why you're going to reject wisdom. That's not good. Let's continue, family. Numbers chapter 19, verse 13. We're going to read the Hebrew last. Whosoever toucheth the dead, even the body of any man that is dead, and purifieth not himself, he hath defiled the tabernacle of Yah. That soul shall be cut off from Israel, because the water sprinkling was not dashed against him. He shall be unclean. His uncleanness is yet upon him. Now, brothers and sisters, before we get to the Hebrew. Matter of fact, no, let's read the Hebrew first and then explain something. Kol anogea b'meta nefesh ha'adam asher yamut v'lo yitkata et mishkan yodhe wahe time v'nikrata ha'nefesh hahi me Yisrael ki me nida lo zorak alaywa tame gihye od tomato bo. Brothers and sisters, what are we seeing in that particular case? We do not currently today have the waters of sprinkling or the waters of purification. We don't have the red heifer today. So what do? We can't do anything. We're still, after touching, and many of our families, touching the body of that person who was deceased. You're still unclean. The tabernacle of the Most High, we do not have. We are in a land that is defiled. Isaiah chapter 20, or is it Isaiah 24? Pardon me, one of the chapters. Is where, brothers and sisters, it speaks about the matter of the earth shall not hide its blood anymore, and it shall come out. So what do we want to emphasize in this particular one? Is, as we pointed out here, brothers and sisters, nida, separation, and tum'ah, uncleanness. What we see right here, showing, if we will, with the pen in the red, we're going to highlight it instead, right? Nida, me nida, the waters or water of sprinkling. So what can we say about the meaning of the word nida? We will show, brothers and sisters, that nida means separation, translated here as sprinkling. Whereas, brothers and sisters, the word we want to show here, if we will, in the red, tum'ato, his uncleanness. Tum'ah means uncleanness. Nida does not mean uncleanness. So if we were to say, as many times in Israel, it was said, he nida. that does not literally mean she is unclean. It was said, Nida, we see here in the book of Numbers, is translated, brothers and sisters, we want to color code it if we will, right? Looking at it here, sprinkling. Whereas looking at it color coded, brothers and sisters, here, uncleanness. So it wouldn't be translated may, meaning water of. It wouldn't be translated as the water of uncleanness, but rather here the water of sprinkling. So if we were to say, as said in many cases in Israel, he nida, what you're saying literally mean is she is separated. We want to emphasize that in meaning for verification purposes. Any questions or comments, please feel free to put so in chat. Let's continue, family. Numbers chapter 19, verse 20. English last. We want to show, if we will, with the laser pointer. Thank you for that, family. Wa ish ashel yitma walo yitkata wa nikrata hanefesha hi betoki ha kwaha ki et mikta shodewahe time me nidalo zorak alayo tamehu. English. But the man that shall be unclean and shall not purify himself, that soul shall be cut off from the midst of the assembly, because he hath defiled the sanctuary of Yah. The water of sprinkling hath not been dashed against him. He is unclean. Now we know good and well, brothers and sisters, the camps and congregations that we as Israel have in the western part of the world for certain is not the tabernacle that Numbers is talking about. But this is the portion as to why we do not have funerals and funeral services inside our camps and congregations. When an Israelite passes away, in many cases, for those who know or don't know, we'll go say, like in the case with my mother, rest in peace, to a funeral home. Or in the case with my grandmother, also in a funeral home. We wouldn't bring, though we don't practice Christianity, we would not bring as many times in Christianity or in other cases where you bring the dead into where you worship at. And this is part of the reason for that. Though we know at the same token, the camps and congregations we currently have are not the tabernacle that Numbers is talking about. We know, brothers and sisters, that we do not have the waters of purification. We do not have the priesthood in that particular case. But brothers and sisters, that does not mean, not trying to be funny, flipping it to the other side, that you just willingly just touch all over the dead when you don't need to sit there in that particular manner either. There's no point in that, if we will. All right. So, brothers and sisters, when we sit there and deal in Torah, it also tells us to not deal with mekwawe hametim, translated as necromancy, conjuring up of the dead, if you will. Why? Because you're not letting him or her rest in peace. Leviticus chapter 20 lets us know whoever sits there and deals in ob, which you get the modern day term obia from. You're dealing in things that are spiritually unclean. So we don't need to raise up the spirit of grandma or grandpa, or in some cases, ma or pa, or in some cases, sadly, son or daughter. Let him or her rest in peace. So what do we now linguistically care to, brothers and sisters, bring out for reference purposes? All right. If we look with the laser pointer, me nida, water of sprinkling. This word nida, brothers and sisters, we're going to show with the highlighter in the yellow, right? As we see here is translated as sprinkling. So we've been saying in many cases in Israel, attempting to say a woman is unclean or a woman is unclean as saying nida he or he nida. But what nida literally we see means is separation or sprinkling. The waters of separation, or in this case, the waters of sprinkling. Brothers and sisters, the zob, which we went over earlier in Leviticus. All right? If we look at this word here, zob, now shown here in the yellow, which we see here, brothers and sisters, as the word issue. And if an issue in her flesh be blood, that is not what is to be sprinkled. It's due to too much of it outside of its regular time that a woman has to sit there, as you read in your own time in Leviticus 15, bring, say, her own offering. What we're reading now in Numbers chapter 19 regarding male or females, or male and females, is in regards with the matter of the deceased. Is in regard with the matters of the dead, if we will. So we want to point out that in many cases, Israel, linguistically, this is why you see the thing going across the word, get your Hebrew on. He nida does not, if you want to say she's unclean, that's not the wording you use. Okay? He means she in Hebrew. If you want to say that she is unclean, you would say teme'ah he, or he teme'ah. He meaning she. Any questions? Again, please feel free to put it within the chat. Numbers chapter 5, verse 19. Hebrew last, and the priest shall cause her to swear, and shall say unto the woman, if no man have laid with thee, and if thou have not gone aside to uncleanness, being under thy husband, be thou free from this water of bitterness that causeth the curse. What are we talking about? Let's read the Hebrew first. In this case, with the laser pointer. Wahish bi'ah ota ha-kohen, wa amar el ha-isha, im lo shakab ish otak, wa im lo shatit tom ah takat ishek. Hinakwi mime hamarim ham arim ha'eleh. What are we talking about? A woman having her appearance spear. A woman having extra male friends, doing things that a friend should not do with a person that is married. Sisters, Judge Lauren Lake stated it, and I want to repeat it. You cannot. Judge Lauren Lake stated it. Outsex a man. If you have a man who you know is sleeping around with women, and y'all not into polygyny, that relationship needs to end. Brothers and sisters. But what you don't do, queen, what you don't do, achot, sister, what you don't do, gaberit, and when we say gaberit, it comes from the Hebrew root word gabar, which means to win. So gaberit means champion. That's how we greet our females. We say champion, one who wins. What you don't do in being a champion is, quote, I'm going to get him back, so I'm going to let somebody be with me so he know how, quote, it feels. See that movie Notorious? Not to get sidetracked. When the rapper Biggie Smalls was under the impression, may he rest in peace, that the guy Tupac, may he rest in peace, was with his wife Faith Evans. See how much drama that caused? And her statement, not to shame any lady, is, well, now you know how it feels to be cheated on. No, sister. All you did, excuse my language, is got screwed. You're not, quote, getting him back. Well, if he going to do it, I'm going to do it. No, sister, you don't do it, you get done. There is a difference, and it's not to condone a man being loose. When you understand, brothers, that you from the house of Israel and you from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that's not something to just spill all over the earth. When it says Israel will be scattered, that's not what it's talking about. So these are things, brothers and sisters, that we care to bring out for reference purposes. Now that we passed that part, let's get into this right here. It says, and the priest shall cause her to swear, and shall say unto the woman, if no man have lain with thee, and if thou have not gone aside to uncleanness. Now let's look at this right here. The word that we see there as uncleanness, brothers and sisters, is shown there, as we pointed out earlier, the word tum'ah, have gone aside. Satit, from the Hebrew word satah, which means to turn aside. That's a past tense. All right? Lamed Hey verb. We'll get into that in another aspect. But the one we want to focus on is tum'ah, meaning uncleanness. We'im lo satit tum'ah, and you have not turned aside to uncleanness. So the peer and the spear, not to be redundant, the one man for sex, the one man for attention, the one man for money. No, daughters of Israel, that's not it. If you meet a man, sister, and you have the patience to help your man to be better, and he has the humility to be helped, then let it be. If you don't have the patience to help a man, if he has the humility to be helped, then y'all not for each other. If you have the patience to help, but he does not have the humility to be helped, then y'all not for each other. But brothers and sisters, the thing that we see, we want to pump this kind of thing on YouTube, if we will, because I ain't going 50-50 with a man is going to cause you, sister, to be a harlot. What is a harlot? A whore. Zonah in Hebrew. What you have is yakwara, precious. Lo titain gufek lakal ish gabirit. Don't give your body to any man. All men champion. We went over the word gabirit earlier. You understand? Al tekalel et bika lahaz nota. Leviticus 19:29. Do not cause your daughter to be a prostitute. Do not profane your daughter, pardon me, as it says, al tekalel, kalel meaning to profane. Do not profane your daughter to cause her to be a prostitute or a harlot, if you will. People talking about that's the oldest profession. It's also one of the nastiest. You understand? So these are things, brothers and sisters, that we do not want to sit there and get into. So, emphasizing this here, have not turned aside to uncleanness. I want to sit there and show that in a better way. Right? Any questions or comments, please feel free to put it into the chat. All right. That word uncleanness is the word tum'ah. Nida does not mean uncleanness, because we see uncleanness in this verse here, but we don't see in the word in Hebrew, nida. So if a man accuses his lady of being out there, as it says, ruach quin'ah, or the spirit of jealousy comes upon him, Brother, don't be in your feelings. You best have facts. Because in Israelite culture, if you bring a woman up on those kind of charges and she's innocent, no matter what happens in your future, you can't get a divorce. Y'all stuck. Because as it says, he laid wanton charges against a daughter of Israel. So if you think that your lady is unfaithful, in Israelite culture, we do Doros Tiradushu, diligent inquiry. You shall inquire diligently. You don't, my feelings, I think. She came in late one day. Let your facts speak. There have been what could be and was good relationships that did not thrive because either she thought he was unfaithful in their union, I'll explain that in a second, or he thought she was unfaithful in the union. So what now do we see, no disrespect intended, I forgot who the artist was. Well, if you thought I was cheating, then maybe I should have. No. But what do I mean when I say if she thought that he was unfaithful? What could, if Judah is married in Genesis 38, tell his lady if Tamar brought the signet and the staff after that was his signet and the staff after he slept, not knowing who he was even sleeping with? There are consequences to sex. There are results from sex. We want results, not consequences. Baby, healthy, beautiful baby. Not she did a mishraf or he did a mishraf to her. What does mishraf mean? The word saraf means to burn. Misraf, a burning. She had the flow of an issue. Zob also means gonorrhea. He had the claps. Syphilis. You're transferring diseases because you don't have self-control. Those are consequences at times from sex. We don't want that. We want results. Babies, not makalot or sicknesses or diseases. We want tinoquet, baby girl, and tinok, baby boy. Not zob, gonorrhea, not atzebet, syphilis, and the closest word that I can think about to get to it in Hebrew, mashkita, aka HIV. Mashkita means that which destroys. That we do not want, brothers and sisters. We want beautiful yellow deem, beautiful boys, and beautiful yellow dote, beautiful girls. So these are things when you're sitting there as a man or woman and not turning aside from that which is decent, you don't have to sit there and dwell and say upon those kind of matters. Brothers, this is not to get sidetracked. I know of a person, not to get too personal, and it's not myself, and it's not to try to enhance myself either. Female tried to do to him what happened with many men with women. He did sexual A or SA, as they want us to say on YouTube now. Assaulted her sexually. She laid that charge against him. Not realizing you sent the text message saying, not to get too graphic and I won't, come and get this. I want you to quote, tear this up. That's what she texted to the guy. So he went there thinking, I'm going to quote, do what it do, so to speak. When she laid that charge against him, it didn't hold up because of what she invited him over for. There's no case. But brothers, if we're not going out like that, if we are about maintaining households, the Apocrypha tells us not to shame any brother. The Most High delivers you a man from a wicked woman. And woman, the Most High will cause you to not be ensnared by a wicked man. I'm not a relationship therapist, but what I can say and what I do know, brothers and sisters, is the games that men play. Well, if I get burnt, I'm going to burn somebody with it. Well, if I'm going to give him a baby, he going to be stuck with child support. You know what can defeat all of that? A first date to a clinic. Then let's sit there and talk about proposal and marriage. Marriages prevent problems. Not saying that there are no problems in marriage. There are, but you don't have unwanted children. You don't have, when you live in respectfully in your marriage, a matter of makala one to the other. Makala meaning disease, if we will. So these are things, brothers and sisters, that again, we care to bring out for reference purposes. Ezekiel 18 verse 6 in the English. And hath not eaten upon the mountains, neither have lifted up his eyes to the idols of the house of Israel, neither have defiled his neighbor's wife, neither have come near to her, near to a woman in her impurity. The Hebrew, we want to show with the laser pointer, Ezekiel 18 verse 6. El heharim lo akal, with a now lo nasa, el yulule bit Yisrael, with et eshet re'ehu lo time, with el isha nida lo yikrab. Brothers and sisters, let's point some things out, if we will. Thank you for that, with the Hebrew, right? Let's look. We'et eshet re'ehu lo time. That's defined here as defiled. When a woman, and it's not to shame nobody, nor to be racial, the woman who accused Kobe Bryant of doing SA to her, sexual A to her, as they want us to say online, she was found with 3 different men's semen in her vaginal canal. 3 different. Same day after the said SA happened to her by, may he rest in peace now, Kobe Bryant. If that woman was married, that will be called adultery. So now when we go about the matter of saying he have, neither have he defiled his neighbor's wife. Brothers, let's say this in no disrespect. If a female at a certain given time is not a virgin and is, quote, quick to be with you in that manner sexually, you're not her only one. Real talk. She's not a virgin, but she is, quote, quick to be with you carnally. You ain't her only dude. Believe that. You understand? There are cases when you talk about the matter of defilement, and it's not to be gross or disrespectful while we talk upon this subject. The man is thinking she is aroused sexually. Meanwhile, that is the remains of another man's semen from her earlier that day. There are females, women who quote counsel other women, if you're going to sleep with more than one man, you wash up Tuesday after you did your thing in the morning and be with somebody else Wednesday. I have heard females say it. There are females who quote counsel other females on how to clean themselves before they be with another man the same week. So now, if these women were married, that would be adultery. That would be a matter of tum'ah or uncleanness. Not nida, which means separation, which is normal. Not her menstrual cycle, which is normal. But the peer and the spear. The miscellaneous penises that she deals with in her mind by miscellaneous. Let's continue. Wa'el isha nida lo yukrab. And unto a woman, nida, a separated woman, translated there as impurity, but we already went over nida, meaning sprinkling, separation, and so on. You know, you got men who don't know, for the lack of a better term, when the red light is there, it means period, and that means stop. Like a sentence, you stop. You know, there are men who sit there, and just like I spoke upon women counseling women how to be loose out there, there are men who sit there and tell other men, well, if she's, on the red, if she's, quote, on the rag, what you got to do to earn, as I used to hear in high school, gross, you can earn your red wings. Just put a towel there. That's gross, brothers and sisters. Scientifically, within your body, when the seed of a man mixes with the blood of a female from her menstrual cycle, it forms acid that can burn the walls of her vaginal canal. There's another reason, if you want to go there, don't do that. Have some patience. See, marriages don't have those kind of issues. In many cases, unless she's outside of the cycle for time, you, her husband, know when her cycle is going to happen if y'all married. But if you out there, you understand? With, and I don't mean to be graphic, the kind of woman that did the song with the rapper Akinelli, and quote, you can do such and such at such and such time. No, family. You don't even have to ask, brother. Your wife, you on the cycle now? The only way she will have to tell you is if it's outside the time. But when you're dealing with ones whom you don't know their timing and you don't know her, then you got to sit there and ask those questions. See, marriage prevents having to inquire that deeply because you already know. So these are things, brothers and sisters, we care to bring out. Leviticus 11:24 in Hebrew words. English last. Ul ele tita ma'u kol hanogea panib latam yitma'at ha'adeb. And by these ye shall become unclean. Whosoever toucheth the carcass of them shall be unclean unto even. We're talking in this part in Leviticus 11 about certain animals. If you touch the carcass of certain animals, you are unclean to the evening. Tum'ah, uncleanness. Tam'ah, uncleanness. Nida, separation. We went over the certain scriptures that spoke, say, upon such. So should we say that she is in her separation, as opposed to even the biblical poor translation by saying she's in her impurity? If a woman is in the time of her separation, and it talks about a man approaching her, you have to go out of your way to make sure to sit there and see that. You could care less, like some men could care less if a woman is, quote, on the red, as to put it in modern terms. You understand? So, Tum'ah, uncleanness. Tam'ah, uncleanness. Nida doesn't in truth mean impurity. It does not in truth mean unclean. It means separation and a time of for being separate. And if you got to ask if she's on that, you have no business sleeping with her. That means you don't know her, because you don't have to ask your wife that. And if your wife has any respect for you, and if she's outside of the timing of her regular cycle, like Leviticus chapter 15, 25 speaks about, as we went over earlier, she'll tell you. You don't even have to ask that, because she knows the Torah, and she doesn't even want to, in that time, even want to be called carnal in that particular case. Isaiah and Dan. Rakazu, Hizaku, Hasiru Ro'a, Ma'al Lechem, Meneged Enai, Kitlu Hara, wash you, make you clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before my eyes. Cease to do evil. Being with another man's lady is evil. Ladies, if you have a man being and you with another man, that's evil. Brothers, being with the woman in the time of for separation, that's evil. In the other list that we see in Ezekiel 18, eating on the mountains, meaning eating unclean. Leviticus 11:24, we went over certain things you eat, touching the carcasses or such, make you unclean to the evening. Also, as pointed out earlier, we want to emphasize in this, it is not Israelite culture to make yourself unclean on purpose. You understand? That's not just something you just go in for the sake of practice in that particular case. If a man and woman are carnal together and he had the flow of seed, then they are both unclean. But how often does that happen? You don't have sex with your lady because you want to become unclean. You are intimate together because that's what couples do. The goal in that is not to become unclean. So again, Israel, you don't sit there and make yourself unclean on purpose. So these are things, again, that we care to bring out. We're going to, family, take an intermission. We're going to play something. Thank you for joining with us. All right. And my brother and friend, I see Rob Chief Kazak Ben Uriel. Shabuah Tob, the brother said Moreh, and I'm saying Shabuah Tob back to the man. How you doing, Aki? We're going to sit there and play something for the people, and we'll be right back after this intermission. Thank you for that.
Us know that we are Israelites, and I can see over and over how we molded and guided our life, giving thanks to your home. So we can never thank thee enough. I can believe that we are His children. I never knew that He loved us so much. Moshe was a great and mighty prophet. He set the standards for the prophet to come. A godly man and a strong and humble leader. His place and time can never be undone. Oh, give thanks to your Lord. He let us know that we are Israelites, and I can see thanks to your believe that we got this children's on. I never knew that he loved us so much. So we will praise you, Jehovah. 'Cause there is none that is like unto thee. So you're the one who made our lives bolder. You're the one who gave us life and the lasting legacy. And oh, give it thanks to Lord. He let us know that we are Israelites. And I can see over and over how he molded and guided our life. Give it thanks to you. 'Cause we can never thank you enough. I can believe that we got this children. I never knew that he loved us so much. Moshe was a great and mighty prophet. He set the standard for the rapture to come. A godly man, a strong humble leader, his place in time will never be undone. Oh, give it thanks to your hope. What about you? He let us know that we are Israelites. And I can see over and over how he molded and guided our lives. I give thanks to your hope. 'Cause we can never thank you enough. I can believe that we are the children. I never knew that he loved us so much. So we will praise you, Jehovah. 'Cause there is none that is like unto thee. So you're the one who made our lives bolder. You're the one who gave us life and the lasting legacy. Oh,
Shalom, shalom, family. Thank you for that. Took a quick intermission there, ran to get a little sandwich, take a couple of bites, get something to drink. But let's get back, if we will, into this matter here. All right. I think I realize what it is. When I sit there and put those kind of videos up, I have to restart the matter with getting the PowerPoint back up. So that's what I'll be doing in that particular case. All right. Hopefully everybody is well and will be better. We've been talking, brothers and sisters, about matter of clean, matter of not dealing and being unclean purposely. Even when a man and his wife are carnal, in Leviticus 15 talks about he and her being unclean. It talks about them washing. So while, brothers and sisters, we speak upon the sprinkling, the washing, we also want to talk about the uncleanness of spirits and washing such. Wash you, make you clean. The Most High is telling you the solution to the problem. Wash you, make you clean. Why do you not want to be clean? Aren't things feeling better when you're clean? Aren't you happier when things are clean? How do you feel? And I can speak from experience, how I felt then going inside of an Uber car that was not clean. When you go in somebody's home and it is not clean. Now we're talking in the book of Isaiah where it says, Rakhazu, wash you. He Zaku. When you hear sisters by the name say Zakiah, just using that as an example, the word Zakiah in Hebrew means pure or that which is clean. So that is in part the root that we see here, brothers and sisters showing the laser pointer, he Zaku, Zakah, where you get the word Zakiah from, or Zakai in the Aramaic, where it says make you clean. Hasiru, take off, put away. Ro'ah ma'al lekim, the evil of your doings. Ma'al lekim, this kem means your. Ma'al means doing of. Meneged enai, from before my eyes. So the Most High is saying not to put words in the Creator's mouth. He sees our dirt and our filth. As I used to hear in prayers, I remember them saying, essentially, Einenu Zokim, we are not worthy. Ki anaknu, Misartutim and Luklakim, which means we are filthy rags. We spoke earlier, brothers and sisters, about the fire in the water on the platform Moreh23 Torah lessons. Don't let people who have no understanding of when to be fire and water in your passion come with the filthy rag that's damp and burnt and try to sit there and smother your fire and your passion and your candle and your wick out. Be like fire and go around and circumnavigate. But with yourself, you cannot do so much circumnavigating. You have to stop. Consider, not to be preachy, wash you, make you clean, put away the evil of your doings. Brothers and sisters, it's a good feeling and it helps. Cease to do evil. So we have the power within ourselves to cease from that which is not upright. This is why, and I don't mean to sound sidetracked, I don't ever respect when people attempt to come with the statement, well, you know, it be real out there, so you never know what people got to sit there and do, you know, if they got to sit there and even quote sell drugs. No, I don't understand that. Because I remember brothers and sisters steak and eggs for breakfast and pancakes for dinner. So no, I don't understand having to sit there and sell things that causes disfigurements in children. No, if the woman is pregnant. No, I don't understand a necessity to sell something that's going to cause somebody to walk in the street and do everything but fall because you decide to sell that big H. No, I don't understand that. Because if there were, quote, no narcotics, then what would you do if times were hard? Cease to do evil. Learn to do well. Pick up a trade. You understand? If you have that same passion to get up before it's even daylight and, quote, make narcotics inside that pot and put it inside of a vial, then you can wake up with the same passion with a phone that you don't need, not to knock nobody's phone service, where it don't have to be prepaid because you worry about somebody tracking you, and you can follow where your resume goes. If you have an entrepreneur mind to do that which is wicked, then you can have an entrepreneur mind to do that which is righteous. People said that about the biggest drug dealer that came out of Washington, D.C. Why do I go there and talking about this particular matter? Because it's a matter of uncleanness that is filtered deeply into our community. They said that guy, may he rest in peace, Rayful Edmond, who in the 1980s was a very big drug dealer in Washington, D.C. in the 1980s, as pointed out, his teachers went online and said, he's smart. He could have ran a Fortune 500 company. He never wrote any transaction down. He knew everything in his head. With that kind of intelligence, he could, can you imagine what he would have done legitimately? So we have, brothers and sisters, a mindset, but we just have to know where to guide it at. Dan shall be a serpent in a way, a horned snake in the path, that bites the horse of heels, so that his rider falleth backward. What is that talking about, brothers and sisters? So that his rider falleth backward. The tribe of the house of Dan. Dan, let Dan be. Like it says, Yehi, let Dan be. The Bible in Genesis says, Yehi or, let there be light. So that same word that we see, Yahi, in Genesis is what we, Genesis 1 is what we see in Genesis 49. Let Dan be, not so much Dan shall be, but let Dan be a serpent, ale, in the ways or about the ways of the, about or concerning the ways of. Shefifon, a horned one, like the adder snake that's only found in certain parts of the quote-unquote Middle East. Ale orak ha no shek ikbesus, a horned serpent in the path, in the direction of, that bites, ha no shek, that bites ikbesus, the heels of the horse. So when you think you're riding on Dan, Danitepublications explain not to be self-centered. I repudiate anybody coming onto the platform by dialing or calling 908-587-4841 to tell beer to me about another brother or sister. I'll send you the StreamYard link and you can post up there what you care to talk about. Get that brother or sister's email and reach out to him or her so you won't break Torah. If you are Torah-centered and Torah-based, then practice the Torah that says in washing yourself and making yourself clean to rebuke your neighbor, as Leviticus says. Don't hate your brother in your heart. Don't sit there and try to find people, we're going to talk about him and her. No, Danitepublications is not about that. The platform is not built for that, and it's not to talk about dollars and cents. No, not going to rapper DJ Quick by saying that. For those who are into music, know what I'm talking about. But you're not going to use Moreh Yeshaya. You're not going to use Danitepublications as a way to sit there and sneer somebody else. Would you debate this, brother? No, I will not. I will promote history and Hebrew for those who are interested. I'm not doing clickbait, which you can't get in trouble for with YouTube. You understand? So these are things, brothers and sisters, that we care to bring out. You're dealing with that which is serious. that bites the horse's heel so the rider falleth backward. Certain people take what they're about seriously. Certain people don't take a talent or a gift as a joke. Certain people don't take the passion that they got in getting, say, in this particular case, information out because he or she has nothing better to do with his or her own time. Such is not the case, family. The number is there and across the screen. If you care to donate to Cash App, anybody who's ever paid for any book directly from me cannot sit there and pull up receipts saying, he didn't bring me the book, didn't send the book. No. We don't steal on Danitepublications. So, brothers and sisters, in looking at this, if we will, brothers and sisters, and giving honor to the Most High, we're going to close out in this manner and appreciate your time. Thank you for that.